Morning, guys. I'm taking after Courtney Hunt this morning, Dr. Courtney Hunt out of Scottsdale. She's always out there hiking and she's really transformed herself. Super awesome. Hey, want to talk to you today about the difference between doing a scratch start for your medical, dental, or veterinary clinic, or should you buy a practice? And the answer is, if you can buy a practice, that's great. But most of the time, especially in this market right now, you're going to run into a lot of stuff that's just sitting on the shelf. And if it's sitting on the shelf, it's got some hair on it. If we get a veterinary or dental clinic that is a good listing, it's literally 2 or 3 phone calls and it's gone. So that's one component of it. Now, the other thing too is that if you force yourself to buy a practice, you got to really take into consideration is, what's going to be the patient attrition? What's going to be the patient runoff? Are they going to leave? Are they going to stay? Is it a male doctor that you're replacing and you're a female, male? Are there significant racial differences? That matters. No matter what anybody says, that matters, unfortunately, still today. But that's a component of it. If you're of one race replacing another one and it's too much of a stark change, you might want to consider that as well. That's a crazy thing to think about, but it's true. Sorry to address the obvious, but we have to take that into consideration. The other major consideration is, what exactly are you buying? Are you buying a practice that with some old stanky equipment and an old funky space, and you go in there and you're just starting your career? Is that really where you want to be? You got to answer that question. Most times it's no. So a lot of times you're like, hey, maybe I'm just better off doing a scratch start or a new start. And a lot of times folks will run around the market for 1, 2, 3, 4 years and never actually find something, and then ultimately they end up doing a scratch start location and they do just great, and then they're like, hey, I should have done this 2, 3, 4 years ago. So that's a component of it. Patient runoff, how bumpy is the transition going to be? How long is that doctor that's going to stay on actually stay on, if at all? That's a huge component to it. And how much am I actually paying for it? And then the other question is, how old is the equipment? How are we on digital, or are we still running the paper patient records, which still exists if you can believe it? But anyways, all those different things, and then actually how much of those patients that are in those records are actually still patients. A lot of things to think about. So don't be so focused. A lot of the schools out there that you guys are going to, medical, dental, and veterinary schools, are saying, yeah, get out there and buy a practice. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. A, if you can afford it. B, if the thing's actually worth anything. But don't do it just because your professor back in school told you to do it. Really put some thought into it, because it's actually you that's on the line. And if that funky old practice isn't going to function when you take control of it, then we should have just done a scratch start. Anyway, this is the way.